If you are a coach or a consultant who is selling any high ticket service or a valuable solution online but struggling with consistent conversions, you are getting a lot of clients in some months, but in some months the business is completely dry, then you need to watch this video. In the next few minutes, I'm going to help you how to unlock consistent conversions, whatever sales funnel you're using, okay? Because if you know me already, I totally believe in fundamentals and first principles thinking. So whatever I'm going to be sharing right now in this video is going to help you regardless of whatever sales funnel you're using, even if you're running a webinar, even if you're running a VSL funnel, even if you're just running, normal YouTube channel from where you're getting clients, you will still increase your conversions and break that revenue ceiling to take your business to the next level. Hi, I'm Nihar, founder at profitandscale.com, and I have helped multiple coaches, consultants, and online high-ticket sellers to scale their business past $20,000 per month by unlocking consistent high-ticket conversions where they can close premium high-ticket clients even without sales calls, because that is where the real game of business is played. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn the secret conversion hack that you can easily implement along your sales funnel. Again, as I told you, no matter whatever sales funnel you're using, and instantly unlock consistent conversions and scale your business. See, I understand that you were somehow able to prove your high ticket offer. You have proven that your offer is valuable and people need that offer. You have already closed a few clients earlier and you still are closing a lot of clients, but some months are completely dry, and then in some months you're getting a lot of clients. You could be running a VSL funnel, a webinar funnel, or whatever funnel out there, funnel does not matter. We're talking about the fundamentals. But still, for some reason, you are not able to consistently convert high paying clients every single month and at least maintain that revenue benchmark that you created for yourself, right? And you constantly are in a fear that if you stop working, you'll stop closing clients. If you stop taking sales calls, you'll stop closing clients, because here's the real truth. Your business is completely dependent on you constantly conducting sales calls, or at least constantly managing sales teams if you have, a big team of closers or appointment setters, which you do not really need. And that is what we're going to discuss in this video as well, like how can you actually unlock consistent conversions without even heavily relying on sales. And if you have to spend all your time consistently on lengthy sales calls trying to constantly convince strangers to buy from you, how are you different, why is your offer the best, and then you will constantly have to utilize conditional guarantees and scarcity and urgency tactics and all those sales pitches that marketing gurus share with you. And then after spending so much time on sales calls, you hear random objections from these people like, hey, I just need to talk to my wife, or I just like to sleep on my decision, I don't like to commit so soon. If you're hearing such random objections and then you follow those objection handling scripts, those lengthy complex objection handling scripts to try to just close that deal magically, if this is something that is happening with you, if you relate to this situation, then I want to assure you that it is not your fault. It is not about your sales skills. You must already be thinking that, oh, you need to improve your offer, you need to create that crazy irresistible high ticket offer that people just are dying to buy from you. The problem is not there. The problem is not with your sales funnel as well. The problem is not with your strategy, sales strategy as well. The problem is not with your sales pitch as well. If you are actually closing a few clients every single month, then the problem is with none of these things. The actual problem lies somewhere else that these marketing gurus that you're following are afraid to tell you. Here's the real problem. Till now, you have been taught to create a sales funnel, or maybe you have been taught to create content that forcefully tries to put your product forward, put your offer forward, and forcefully try to convince people. And that is the real problem. See, your audiences, your target audiences, they're very smart, okay? The moment they sense that the other person or you are trying to sell something to them, they'll instantly put their guards up. They'll instantly put their sales guards up. Right? And it becomes increasingly difficult for you to convince them. The problem is your method is completely dependent on pushing your offer onto their faces. The more you push, the more you repel them. And that is why it becomes increasingly difficult for you to close them as a client at the end. This is the real problem with your marketing or sales funnel, because your marketing or sales funnel is not doing its job properly, and that is why you have to do all the heavy lifting on your sales calls. You need to understand this one thing: if people are booking sales calls with you, or if people are actually watching that VSL that you created, or if people are actually attending the webinar that you're hosting, then everybody, all of them, all of these participants wants to solve a problem in their life. They want a solution for the problem that they're facing in their life. 100% of people. But then why is it just 10 to 20% people maximum end up buying your offer? Why are you not able to convert all 100% of them, right? Because ideally everybody is facing the problem, so ideally all of them should buy. But why is it that just 10 to 20% people buy from you even after putting so much efforts? When after they go through the whole sales funnel and after sitting with you for multiple hours on a sales call, even then, why do they not decide to buy from you? That is why the content that you're creating, the funnels that you're creating are completely designed around sales. We need to roll back and design them around marketing. Here's the wrong idea that people are teaching you right now. You don't need to sell, you have to help them to buy, and you have to do that through your funnel. So your sales calls are lightweight, are very short, and people are just there on sales calls just to do the final transaction, final money transaction. That's it, nothing else. Your sales funnel should do the actual selling, right? So you have to create the sales funnel or the marketing content to help people buy, not to sell. Okay, there's a difference, because when you try to sell, as I told you, when you try to sell, you repel them, but when you try to help them buy, you attract them. And here are 9 questions that are going on in your prospect's mind that you need to answer through your sales funnel if you actually want to attract the close. Okay, you don't want to forcefully close them, you want to attract the close. So instead of following those lengthy sales scripts or VSL scripts which are designed around sales, which literally repels your audiences, instead of that, try to design your sales funnel, your VSLs, your webinar pitches, whatever value-adding thing you're doing along your sales funnel. Try to design it around answering 9 questions, these 9 questions that I'm about to tell you. These 9 questions that are going in your prospects' minds. The moment you answer all of these questions as clearly as possible, you have already got a self-close. Me and my clients literally receive messages on WhatsApp where people are just directly ready to pay. They're just asking, hey, I just need to sign up. I know you can help me, and I just want to join. I just want to pay. Let me know if you accept credit cards, right? These are the real messages that you should receive from your prospects. Not, I need to think about it, or I need some more time, right? So here's the list of 9 questions that I have organized according to the flow that you should answer them in. You should start from answering the question number 1 to the question number 9 in a flow. Doesn't matter whatever piece of content you're creating out there. It could be VSL, it could be a webinar, whatever you're creating. Even if you're creating a YouTube video, keep on answering these 9 questions for your prospects, right? Question number 1 is, why should I even care about this instead of everything else? In this question, you're trying to tell them the cause of argument. You need to understand that there are a lot of things going on in the prospect's life. Okay, in your audience's life. Just think about when they even scroll Instagram. They're seeing so many content, so many reels out there, so many short form videos out there, and there are so many distractions out there that you need to give a valid reason to them on why they should care about whatever you're going to say right now in the video, in the piece of content, right? So you have to give them a cause of argument. You have to, so some people call this a hook, but I have a better explanation. You have to think about the question that is going on in their mind. The biggest question that is going on in their mind is, why should I even care about this instead of everything else that is going on in their life right now, right? So the thing that you're going to say should be very important, right? Every piece of content, whatever video you're creating, whatever VSL you're creating, but start with calling their identity out, okay? Call up their identity. The moment you call their identity out, it could be, hey, if you are a coach, it could be, hey, if you are a dentist who is doing this much, right? Or it could be, if you are a chiropractor who is, facing this problem, right? So you could be whatever your audience is, call their identity out and give them an argument about why should they even care, right? So you could do that by saying something controversial, okay? Saying something that has contrast. Whenever you present contrast in front of anybody, it is the best way to drive attention. Always remember. So try to create contrast from whatever you would be saying at the start of the video. And here's how you create contrast. Say something completely opposite of the belief that they might already have in their mind. Let's say for a dentist, it could be they need footfall. They need more footfall in their clinic to earn more money. This could be a common belief in their mind. So say something completely opposite of this, It could be you do not need footfall. You do not need people to come to your clinic to buy from you. Okay, so I'm just giving you an example out of the blue, right? But you have to think about it. How can you create contrast, right? Something that grabs attention, something that makes them care about you, about what you're going to say, above everything else. Question number 2, why should I even listen to you? People just hate wasting time, and especially when you want more of their time, when you're showing them a VSL, or when you want them to attend a webinar, a long webinar, or when you want them to watch a long form video, YouTube video that you're creating. Well, in that case, your demand is high, right? You could want maybe around 10 to 12 minutes of their attention, or maybe half an hour of their attention, which is huge, And in this day and age, when the attention span is reducing, the weight of this ask is even higher now. Even before you talk of anything else about the topic, you need to justify why you are the right person they should hear from. And it's very easy. You just need to say one sentence about yourself, why you are credible, why you are trustworthy, why you are the authority, and why should they listen to you. Understand that you have already grabbed their attention from answering the first question. So the second question is sort of, cherry on the top. You're just putting out your credibility. You're telling them that, okay, the topic is interesting and you should pay attention to this. And also, I am the credible person to talk about it. Simple, right? Question number 3, do you even understand my situation and what I truly want to change? Now, here's the thing. This question is very important because here you talk about their situation. Here you talk about their life. The biggest problem that your audiences have is relating to someone. There's a lot of content to consume out there, but people just do not know whether this piece of content, even if it's interesting, is it even relevant to me? You need to talk about their problem. You need to talk about their situation as closely, in as intimate manner as possible. You should know everything about your prospect. You should know everything about your target audiences. How much cigarettes do they consume? How much do they even play football? How much do they sleep? Every single thing. You should speak about their current situation in such intimate manner that the first question that comes in their mind would be, hey, how do you know so much about me? Have you installed spy cameras in my room? You should have such information about them, because this is how you tell them that you understand their situation. Okay, this is very important because they need to have a feeling that you understand them. They need to have a feeling that you know what is it that they want to change. Whenever we are marketing online, we need to understand that we are promoting change. Everybody wants to change something in their life, right? Change is what the whole economy runs on. Whenever someone is facing a problem in their life, they're actually wanting change, right? They want to change something in their life. So by answering this question, you are telling them that you know their current situation and you know what is it that they want to change. What is the desired situation that they want to reach? Question number 4, what is actually keeping me stuck here? Now, this question plays a very important role in this whole scenario because people have doubt in their mind. People have a feeling of self-doubt, like they don't feel powerful. So you have to make them feel powerful by answering this question. What is keeping me stuck right now? Because what is keeping them stuck is their lack of skill set, right? So everybody out there, all of your audiences is blaming themselves. If someone is already feeling bad about themselves, this is your responsibility not to make them feel more bad about themselves, but empower them, right? But remove that self-doubt. Tell them that it is not their fault. So by answering this question, what is actually keeping me stuck here, you actually answer silently that it is not their fault that they're stuck here. Okay, so you have to answer, you have to give a valid argument about something else that might be keeping them stuck. Okay, something else because of which they feel like there's an invisible ceiling that somehow they are not able to get out of, and it's not their fault. Now, question number 5, how does your solution actually work step by step for someone like me? Now, this is where you provide the real meat of the video, you know, the real gist of the video, the real value of the video. It could be, you could be creating that video, or you could be creating that piece of content for any topic in this world, any topic which is related to their problem, right? This is where you are actually talking about the step-by-step process of implementing the solution that you were talking about. Here, it's very important for you to make sure that they relate to the way you're talking, okay? They relate to the words that you're using. They relate to the language that you're using. You need to tell them the solution in a way that they know that it is for them. You need to talk about them, okay? You need to talk about how is it relevant to them. You never talk about the solution in a broad manner, using broad words, you know. You have to be as hyper-specific as possible. After listening to you, they should feel like they're already executing that solution. They're already acting on that solution. The solution is already there in their life, right? You should create that perception. Question number 6. Why is this solution better than any other alternative out there? Okay, now I would say out of all of these 9 questions, this is the most important question, because in all of the marketing content out there, all of the ads that you keep on seeing online, all of the webinars that you may be attending, everybody is trying to promote their offer, and why is it different, why is it different, why is it best, why is it best, right? But the problem is everybody keeps on doing that. Everybody is trying to put their offer as the best one in the market. And your prospect, this is the truth, your prospects, your audiences, they have already understood that everybody is trying to promote their offer. Everybody is trying to make their offer look the best. Everybody is trying to make their product look the best in the market, right? What you actually need to answer is not how is my product the best or how is my product the most different. You need to answer how is your product better, not the best, better than any other solution out there in the market, any other alternative solution out there in the market. You have to address other solutions as much as possible, because here's the thing, when we talk about not selling but helping them buy, we actually have to educate them, okay? You need to educate your prospects, you need to educate your audiences on making the best decision of their life, because they already know they have a problem, right? And they already know that the salesperson who is standing in front of them, he will always try to sell them their product. He will always try to make their product look the best. They already know that. What you need to actually do is to educate them, in making the best choice, okay? And it also comes with accepting that for some people, your product might not be the best. So educate them that, hey, in your situation, my product might not help, but I'll recommend you to someone else. Doing this increases your authority, doing this increases your authenticity, doing this increases the trust factor, which is the most important thing in sales. I'll tell you a very short story. I wanted to get a MacBook, so I visited an Apple store. I was very sure I wanted a MacBook because I wanted a big battery life, I wanted a lightweight form factor so that I can travel around with that MacBook. But the moment I entered the Apple store, I got completely confused seeing so many options. There was MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, 13-inch, 15-inch, 14-inch, 16-inch. I got confused, and so much so that after spending 1 hour and getting confused, I just thought, okay, maybe I'll just buy someday later. The moment I was about to exit the Apple store, this sales representative, he approached me and he asked me, whoa, why are you leaving? Like, okay, I thought you came here to get a laptop, then why are you leaving? What's the problem? He asked me some questions about, okay, what are my requirements? I told him that I need a big battery life and a powerful machine and a lightweight machine that I can travel with. So he instantly told me that if that's your use case, then the MacBook Air might not be a good option for you because the machine is a bit weak for your use case. It might just last you around a year or two maximum. It is not a long-term machine. The processor is weak. So do not get an Air, go for a Pro. Then I told him that, okay, I'm also confused with the screen size. So he told me, oh, go with the 14-inch. You are a traveler. You need a machine to travel. So 16-inch is not a good option for you. Go for the 14-inch. And now I finally had clarity on what machine to get. By just helping me make the best decision of my life, this person actually secured a lost sale. And this is what you need to do. You need to address all the alternatives and help your audiences make the best decision. You need to tell them that the alternative solutions that they're trying to implement right now, they might not work, and why they might not work, and why they might just end up wasting a lot of time. You have to address the alternatives and tell them that your offer, your solution, or if you're creating a small YouTube video, the idea that you're trying to put forward is the only one and is the best one that you should go for when compared to all the other alternatives. This is the most important thing. People have this in mind. People want to make the smartest choice. People want to save the status. Okay, see, here's the thing. Turns out people are most afraid of messing up. Okay, they are most afraid of messing up with their decision than missing out on a good thing. I'll repeat. People are most afraid of messing up with a bad decision than missing out on a good one. This is the most important thing that sellers just don't understand, right? They're just trying to force the decision on their prospects. They're just trying to force the decision on their audiences. Hey, get my product, get my product. But the more you force, the more you repel them. This is what they don't understand, right? So instead of that, you need to help them make the best decision. You need to make them feel that the decision that they're going to take is the best one out there. That is the feeling that you want to invoke in their mind. This is how you would be getting that self-close. This is how you get people to buy themselves, you know? You don't, even without you pitching anything to them forcefully. Okay, question number 7. Why should I even believe in any of this? Now, there's a chance that whenever you introduce something new, a new idea or a new product in front of anybody, the mind instantly goes on thinking, hey, this is something new. Hey, stay away from this. This is something that we have never heard of, right? You need to give them proof. You need to give them examples. You need to give them case studies. You can give them your own case studies, your own client case studies. You can give them someone else's case studies as well, just to prove your point, you know, a market case study, an industry case study, a statistical case study. Always make sure you use numbers, because the logical side of the brain is always trying to make sense of the numbers. So always present the numbers as well. You can give them an anthropological or maybe a historical case study as well, like how humans have evolved, that something is true in nature, something is true in the grand scale of the universe. Okay, it could be something like, hey, all planets always keep on revolving around the sun. That's a truth, that's a fact, that's a natural fact, right? This is also a proof point. So think about how it backs up your new idea and present it as a proof. Question number 8. Is this worth the money, time and risk for the change it will create? Now, our brain is a very complex machine. It works in ways that scientists have not even understood till now. Like, why does it do that? This question is a very important question, okay? Because as soon as the brain starts believing in something, there's an instant thought that starts coming in the mind, which is, okay, the amount of time and efforts that I have to put in, the amount of work that I have to put in, the risk that I have to take in order to implement the solution. And this is the question that pops up in your prospect's mind that you need to answer before giving any call to action. This is the most important thing that you need to do. And this is how you do it. You need to paint a picture about their future identity. You tell them the returns that they get after this investment. That you tell them the output, the desired outcome. You know, you have to paint a picture by using as detailed words as possible about the end outcome. You have to talk about the change that will happen in their life after they use the solution. As I told you earlier, marketing is all about change work, right? We all are here, the economy runs on change, right? So you have to make the change as real for them as possible. You have to paint the whole picture, right? Use the real words, right? You could tell them you could be hanging out on a beach, you could be you could have a penthouse in New York, you know, something like that. This is how you paint a picture, by talking about the specific scenarios that might happen, the specific experience. You talk about the experience. You talk about the desired experiences that are going on in their mind, the experiences, the images that they see in movies, that they see on YouTube videos, that they see on Instagram. You have to talk about them as specifically as possible. And this is what makes them feel that the time, the efforts, the risk that they're going to take to implement the solution is actually worth it. Okay, actually worth it. And on top of that, just cherry on the cake, you can also tell them that your solution does not require a lot of time and efforts from their side. Your solution might not require them to take a lot of risk. Of course, only mention that if that's actually true. It will definitely help them out to understand the big picture. See, people want to change their current identity, right? They're habitual to their current identity. So all marketing is to talk about their current identity as accurately as possible and design or paint their desired identity as visually appealing, as visually accurate that is going on in their mind as possible. And then also tell them that to go from here to here, the path is risk-free, takes way less time and efforts and money, and it's easy with the solution that you're presenting in front of them. And lastly, question number 9. Exactly what do I need to do now and what will happen next? This is something that people call to action, right? But call to action is a highly misunderstood thing. People think call to action is just, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or hey, press the button and buy now. Hey, press the button and book a call right now. This is commanding. You can't command anybody to do something. Please understand, human nature is designed in such a way that we feel restricted as soon as someone tells us to do something. So the easiest way to do this is to make use of you can language, okay? So instead of saying, click the link below this video and buy now, what you need to say is, you can click the link below this video and buy now. So do not command. Give them the option, present the option in front of them. You can, okay? You can find the link in the description to book a call with me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if you feel the video was valuable, okay? Use the you can language as much as possible. Never try to restrict people to do something on your terms. Present all the options that they have in front of them. Simple, okay? And then after presenting the options, you also have to tell them what will happen on each of these options. What will happen if they choose to go and do everything themselves? Paint a picture. What will happen next, okay? Option number 2, if they work with us, what will happen next, right? So you have to paint the picture. So lay out the options and paint pictures for every option. Okay, and this is the only way you don't make them feel restricted, by giving them options. When you give people options, they feel mentally free, and this is the best way to get them to lower their sales guard and be open to taking action with you. And these, my friends, were the 9 questions that you need to answer for your prospects along your sales funnel, whatever sales funnel it could be. Okay, could be VSL funnel, could be webinar funnel. Make sure you design the content in such a way that it answers all these 9 questions one by one in the exact same flow that I gave you. Also, I have prepared a detailed document for all of you which has all these questions and the explanation of all these stages in detailed manner, so you can actually understand and implement it along your sales funnel, in your VSLs, in your webinar. You can easily take the document, learn from it, and implement it in your sales funnels instantly. You can find the link to this document in the descriptions below this video. And apart from that, if you feel like you want to implement all of this in your sales funnels and actually want my help to scale your business, then you can watch the video in the description where we have talked about our exact plan on how we execute the whole scaling systems in your business. You'll find this video in the description as well. Apart from that, I will see you in the next video.